Hey guys, man, it's been a while since I last did an organized video like this, right? Yeah, I had some shorts and I posted some things on my community, and also I did a few live streams from here and there. But man, it's been a while since I actually sat down to record a video, man. I've been busy, just know that. By the way, if y'all didn't notice, you would notice my last few things I was doing, I didn't have my other wristband. Oh yeah, I found it, so that's good. Anyways, enough blabbering. Wait, hold on. Before I start, let me see, what is it? Hold on. Let's see, where am I pointing? That way? Okay, hold on. Alright, so him right there. If you don't see that, that's my bunny, okay? He's in the cage right now. He's trying to hide from... I see you. Today's actually his birthday. So spam happy birthday Manila in the comments. He's a big old 7-year-old now. Spam happy birthday in the comments for my bunny. Alright, now let's get on to the video. Happy birthday. Alright, yeah, he's turning 7 if y'all didn't know. I want to talk about something that hits close deep into the heart. I'm going over NFL's worst referee calls of all time. And I don't think there's a better place to start. Well, there probably is, but we might get to that in a second. But, let's start with the Fail Mary. It was, I believe, a week 3 Monday Night Football game. The referees went on strike. So they had some backup refs or replacement refs or whatever. And the Seattle Seahawks were trailing by 5 with the score of 12-7 with under like 5 or 10 seconds to go in the game, right? They needed one more play to have a chance. Then we thought that it was kind of iffy. All right, so hear me out. So Russell Wilson, all right, he drops back. He's waiting for him because they only need to get 30 yards because this is a 4th and 10 play, but even if they don't get it, I mean, the game's over anyway. It's basically like a 4th and 30. I know it's basically a 4th and 10, but they need 30 yards to win the game. All right. The Seahawks O-line was holding up good, but then Russell Wilson gets hit as he throws, but he launches into the end zone and the ball gets far, right? Golden Tate and the Packers defender latch onto the football, right? The Packers defender, by rule, has more possession of the ball than the receiver. So therefore, it should be an interception. Game over. Packers win 12-7. But the refs even reviewed the play because all the touchdowns are reviewable. They reviewed the play and they said that Golden Tate had more possession of the ball, which if you see in real time and in slow motion, you can clearly see that that's not the case. So the Seahawks ended up winning that game, I believe, 14-12, and Packer fans refer to that game as the Fail Mary. And number 2 on the list, man. Man, this is not easy, or for some fans. Number 2, we got Super Bowl 40 in a game between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Y'all know where I'm going with this. It's the Super Bowl. The game we just went over was a primetime regular season matchup. Now we're going over a Super Bowl, which was a game that the referees did not make 1 nor 2 bad calls. They made 3 bad calls in a single Super Bowl. I don't think any apologies would be good would make up for that. Let's start with one. Let's start. All right. So the Seahawks, right? I forgot what play it was, but all I remember is that there was an offensive pass. I don't know if you called it for a touchdown or if it was just a first down play, but I remember the receiver quote-unquote pushed off, and that drew an offensive pass interference, which if you look back at it, that was not pass interference. The receiver made little to no contact, and if you're going to call pass interference, should have been on the defender, but there's nothing you can do there. But it's just one bad call, who cares? Number 2. Ben Roethlisberger, Steelers quarterback, dives for the end zone, and they rule it a touchdown. If you look back to it, he was clearly shy of the goal line. But the refs don't care. He was shy of the goal line. Just give him the touchdown. Seals go up 7-3. But then the last call, which might be the most brutal call of them all. I know for sure in here. The receiver. Seahawks receiver. They once again, quote-unquote, pushed off. When Matt Hasselbeck, who was the Seahawks quarterback at the time, threw the ball, the receiver created space for himself and caught a touchdown, which would have put Seahawks back in the game. But they had other plans, as they decided that they were going to call another offensive pass interference, which basically took away the touchdown. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers went on to win Super Bowl 40 with a final score of 21-10. Seahawks fans are still haunted to this day. All right, at number 3, we got Bottlegate. And you might be wondering to yourself, Hurricane Mike, what on earth is Bottlegate? I'm about to tell you. It was just a regular game between the Cleveland Browns and Jacksonville Jaguars before the Browns became the Ravens, and then the Browns became the Browns, I don't know. But the Browns were playing the Jaguars, right? With under a minute left to go in the game, Jaguars led by 5 with a score of 15-10. The Browns had a 4th and 2. If they don't get it, game over. If they get it, then they keep the game alive. Tim Couch, I believe, was the quarterback. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure Tim Couch is the one who threw the ball to the receiver, who caught the ball. But people say he might have dropped it, all right? But the Browns, knowing that he might have dropped it, they hurried to the line and they spiked the ball. Therefore, you're not allowed to review a play if another play has already been ran. But as we've seen countless times in the NFL, they don't care about that rule. That's the one rule that they always tend to break, and I don't understand it. But, yeah, the receiver, he so-and-so dropped the ball, which he did drop the ball. Let's be honest, he did drop the ball. But that's not why that's on this list, because if he actually did drop the ball, which he did, it wouldn't be on this list, except for this one thing. You're not allowed to review a play after one's play's already been ran. That's why this play's on the list. I mean, yeah, they drop it, yes. If the Browns didn't notice that, and if they didn't spike it, this would not be on the list. But that's not why it's called Bottlegate. It is called Bottlegate because all the Browns fans, they knew that they wouldn't be able to see their football team play in a long time. Well, I don't know if they announced that, but let's just say that they knew that, I guess. I don't know. All those fans threw the bottles, threw all their bottles, and I'm pretty sure that took away bottles from NFL games. I'm pretty sure that's what made it happen. I'm not sure. But, yeah, every single Browns fan in the stadium threw bottles onto the field with 48 seconds on the clock. But by rule, you're not allowed to, I don't know if it wasn't allowed, but they called the game off with 48 seconds to go. But then the NFL made the officials come back onto the field to basically finish the game. Well, there wasn't really a game to finish. It was just the Jaguars kneeling the clock out. So yeah, they just wasted an extra 48 seconds of their life. But yeah, the Jaguars ended up beating the Browns that day 15-10, and ever since then, people were scared to throw bottles on the field. Well, they had no choice, but yeah. All right. Now we gotta get real here. Man, I was in a good mood, but then I realized I have to talk about it. I'm a Saints fan. Every single time you talk to Saints fans about referees being bad, you look to this play, or this refereeing job, I guess. At number 4, we got the NOLA no call, and let me hear you, or let me tell you and you hear me. It was a flag. So let's start with the obvious. So Drew Brees, right? Let's start with him. Could this have ruined Drew Brees' legacy? For Hall of Fame? No. But for recognition, before a top 5 or top 10 debate, it might have ruined that. Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks that I've ever seen, with my 2 eyes. Unfortunately, I was only able to catch the late of his career and not early on. You know, I started watching football back in 2018. I've been watching football for 6 years, going on 7. And 3 of those years I spent watching Drew Brees. So this is why that game really hurts me. So now let's start on the play. So it is 3rd and 10 for the Saints. The game is tied up at 20. It was just hit the 2-minute warning, and a couple plays I'm pretty sure already been ran. Sean Payton tells Drew Brees that we want to play smart, but also we don't want to have to just kick a field goal and give the Rams so much time, which is what they were forced to basically do at that point. Drew Brees drops back. He throws a jump ball to Tommy Lee Lewis, and Nickell Robey-Coleman ran over to that side of the field and dang near tried to commit attempted murder on him. Tommy Lee Lewis, he was basically our Deontay Hardy, where he was small, but he could make a play, but not that type of play. And and I will admit this, if Nickell Robey-Coleman wasn't going for the contact and was trying to make a play on the football, it could have been an interception. But we'll never know. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. He gets hit illegally. No diddy. And the referees did not throw a flag. So then the Saints are basically forced to kick a field goal. Saints go up by 3, but that gives the Rams too much time. And the Rams went down the field. They got a field goal to send it to overtime. And then the referees were like, sorry. And they finally gave us a pass interference call after not calling nothing the whole game. Then Michael Thomas got held. And I'm pretty sure Cam Jordan got held as well. Wait, no, it was not Cam Jordan that got held. I'm thinking about the different side of the ball. Alvin Kamara, I believe, got chop blocked as well. But the referees hold the blindfolds up here. Rams intercept it. They kick a game-winning field goal. Rams lose to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And that's how our number 4 play ends. Alright. Now our number 5 play where I don't get screwed, but other people get screwed. We got to go to that coin toss mishap. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Detroit Lions played a football game, as every other play here. And this wasn't really anything that happened. Like, when you talk about referees mishap and stuff, you don't talk about this as much because it's a coin toss. But the Steelers and Lions both were about to go to overtime. And back then, it was first score wins, just sudden death. You win the game. Whether that's a safety, touchdown, or a field goal, you automatically win the game no matter what. So, Jerome Bettis was the Steelers' captain, so he went out for the coin toss. He called tails. He called tails, right? But the referees claimed he called heads. He flipped the coin. It landed on tails. Lions won the coin toss, even though Jerome Bettis called tails, but they said that he called heads. But I don't know how you mix that up. I don't know if somebody else behind the ref said heads just to mess with the ref. I'm not sure. But yeah, the Lions won the toss. Obviously, they received in that scenario. And then they went down the field. They got in the field goal range, and then they kicked the game-winning field goal to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers that day. Number 6, we got the Tuck Rule game. You really thought that was not going to be on this list? And if you don't know the Tuck Rule game, which I'm assuming is none of you, because everybody should know that by now. The Oakland Raiders at the time were taking on the New England Patriots in a snowy playoff game. It was in the AFC divisional round. Winner of the game goes to the AFC Championship game. Loser heads to Cancun, if they were even referring to it as Cancun back then. I don't know, it was the early 2000s. Where the Patriots, it just hit the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in the game. Patriots are trailing by 3. A field goal sends it to overtime, but a touchdown would win it. Tom Brady, let's start here. Charles Woodson, who is the star Raiders defensive player, he blitzed Brady, causing a fumble that the Raiders ended up picking up, which could have ended the game, depending on what happened on the Raiders' offensive drive. I'm not sure how much timeouts the Patriots had. I'm pretty sure they had 2, but shoot, they may have not had none. I don't know. I remember watching highlights. I'm not sure. I'm not even talking about it anymore. Yeah, so the Patriots played the Raiders. Charles Woodson forces a fumble, which is clearly a fumble, and the referees rule it a fumble. But then they review the play, and they say that Brady's arm is going forward, which it technically was going forward because it was a pump fake, but ain't nobody cares about technically this. It is a fumble because due to the fact he pump faked before Charles Woodson even got there. And then, not to mention, when he fumbled the ball, he didn't even have full possession of the ball when the arm was going forward. And if anything, the arm was just going down. There's a difference from going down to forward. Forward is like this. Down is this. So yeah, they rule it incomplete. Patriots get the ball back. They kick a field goal. Adam Vinatieri knocks down the field goal to tie the game and force overtime. And the Patriots won the coin toss. They went down the field. Okay. And Adam Vinatieri hits another field goal to beat the Raiders to move on to the AFC Championship game. And who knows how Tom Brady's career, I still think he would have had a good career. But, yeah, he would have only had 6 rings instead of 7. Could have only had 5 rings if things. Anyways, let's just go on to number 7. Now for number 7, we got a recently game. The game happened last year. We're going Super Bowl 57 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a great game. The Chiefs, they were driving, a chance to win the game. And it's 3rd down for the Chiefs. The Eagles, they make a crucial stop, which could potentially help them try to either tie the game or take the lead in Super Bowl. But the referees said none of that, as they claimed James Bradbury, Eagles cornerback, held Chiefs wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, aka TikTok boy. And, yeah, so they call it holding. Which, is it holding? Yes. But like I said about number 6, we don't care about technical. Like, technically it's holding. But if you consider this as holding, I don't know what to tell you. Especially, how do you call that? And not to the Packers fans, but, you know, we're already off that. But yeah, so the referees call holding, which is 50-50. There's actually a point in time where I agreed with the refs, but there was also a point in time where I thought the refs were just flat out dumb for calling this penalty. I'm currently on neither side of the coin. I was rooting for the Eagles, but I don't really like both teams anyway. But yeah, so yeah, that gave the Chiefs a fresh set of downs. They ended up running the clock out. Harrison Butker kicks a field goal, and Chiefs beat the Eagles in Super Bowl 57 to claim their first of their back-to-back rings. So that's how number 7 turned out. And to end off the list with number 8, we got the Dez Bryant caught it game. It was Dallas Cowboys versus Green Bay Packers in the 2014 NFC Divisional Round almost a decade ago. Man, this was a fun time to be alive, I guess. So, the Packers lead by 5 against Dallas, and the Cowboys have a chance to take the lead. Tony Romo, I think, was the quarterback. He threw it up to Dez Bryant, which was a smart play, and the refs ruled it a catch, which would have put them at the 1-yard line for a chance to get 1 yard in 4 plays, and that was before they had Zeke. I'm not sure who their running back was, but I'm pretty sure he could have got a yard unless he didn't have no arms or no legs. So yeah, the Cowboys, they were set up perfect. So we thought. Dez Bryant bobbled the ball and dropped it. I hate the Cowboys, but I can agree, this was a dumb call. One of the dumbest calls on this list. Yo, Dez Bryant caught that. If you look at it, you could say that, the floor made contact with... No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Look, I still think the Cowboys would have lost the game anyway, because they're playing against Aaron freaking Rodgers, but I don't care. I'm talking about NFL's worst referee calls of all time. I'm not talking about what was going to happen. I'm talking about the play and the result. So, the Cowboys, it was ruled a catch. Then Mike McCarthy, who's the current Cowboys coach, but the former Packers coach, challenged the call. And we were all like, I wasn't like anything because I was born, but I wasn't watching football at that time. But yeah, he ended up calling, the referee said it was incomplete, that he didn't maintain possession of the ball, which was incorrect. And Dez Bryant still argues that he was trying to reach over the goal line, which he was. So they ruled it incomplete, and since it was fourth down, the Packers get the ball right back. They run the clock out. Green Bay Packers advance to the NFC Championship, and the Dallas Cowboys get sent home. But yeah, that's going to end this list. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about it, and I'll feature your comment in my next video if I think it's good enough. Just like this one from Wick TV, who commented on my post with my Eric McCoy jersey and my Rashid Shaheed jersey, and I'm actually wearing my Eric McCoy jersey right now. And he commented that 22 with 4 fire emojis. Yep. You know, Rashid Shaheed, man, I got that jersey now. And I'm still adding to the collection. I'm thinking about getting a Spencer Rattler jersey just because. And I think I might also get maybe a JT Gray jersey. Or, I think those 2 for now. But yeah, so like, subscribe, share, turn the bell on so you don't miss another upload. And I'm out of here. Who dat?